edition of Wednesday's Word. And we've got a pretty good house here tonight, and hope that you guys are comfortable there at home, and kind of a rowdy crowd in spots here tonight. But we've got a special treat for you, and we have a special guest come to speak to us tonight, and I'd like to introduce to you Mattayah Lyndaker. She is one of our youth, and we're just very excited to hear what she has to say from the Lord. So, Mattayah?
Hello. So for any of you who do not know my name, it is Mattayah Lyndaker, and today I would like to start with a quick story. Sunday, August 15th. It was a good day. It was like any other Sunday. I came home from youth and went right into the house and put my belongings down. Sometimes as a family we sit down and watch a movie. Sometimes we go four-wheeler riding. As I hear my parents talk about going on a walk, I go into my room and I sit down. I picked up my phone, and what I thought I only spent 5 minutes of scrolling through social media, it was probably more like 8 or 10. So I get off my phone, and I then remember my family decided to go for a walk. I think of a few places my family would go, and the first one that comes to mind is our driveway. So I begin walking down our driveway. Our driveway is about 3/4 of a mile long, with a hill large enough that when you try to look over it to see the end of the driveway, you can't quite see the end. I continue walking down the driveway and begin to reach the base of the hill. When I reach the top of the hill, I'm still unable to see the end of the driveway where I believe my parents might be. You see, along the sides of the driveway are cornfields, and because the driveway has a slight curve, I still can't see the end. As I continue walking, I begin to think to myself, what if they aren't even there? What if they aren't even walking the driveway, and what if they aren't even at the end? What if I walked all this way for absolutely nothing? What if they are already back home watching a movie without me? I walk a little longer and I still can't quite see or get these annoying possibilities out of my head. When I finally reach a point where I could see, I still see absolutely nothing. I take no more than 2 steps and I think to myself, all of those thoughts I had thought a few minutes prior, except I had one more. You really should go to the end of the driveway. Except again, then contrary thought immediately followed by, what are you doing? Turn around. So I turned around. The whole way back, I regretted not going all the way to the end of the driveway. I didn't know why, but I just had this feeling I should have gone all the way to the end. As soon as I reach the house, I check my phone where I see a missed call from my mom. I called her back, and the first thing I say is, where are you? She replies to me with the response, we just walked the driveway. I'm standing there with my mouth wide open because I just cannot figure out for the life of me how I did not see them and how I missed them. But then the thought came to my head. I should have went all the way. I then begin to think to myself, wow, why did I turn around? You see, not only did I give up on walking the whole driveway, but I felt it was pointless to continue. When I couldn't see what I was looking for. What I was searching for was at the end of the driveway the entire time, and all I had to do was keep going, despite the obstacles and the thoughts telling me to do the exact opposite. I just had to keep pushing through. The situation reminds me of the story in the Bible of Joseph. Joseph was accused of attempting adultery and then put in jail. But in Genesis chapter 39, verse 21, it says that the Lord was with him. He showed him kindness and granted him favor in the eyes of the prison warden. So the warden put Joseph in charge of all of those held in the prison, and he was made responsible for all that was done there. After being in prison, Joseph began interpreting dreams of fellow prisoners and then the dreams of the Pharaoh. In Genesis 41, verses 41 through 43, it says, so Pharaoh said to Joseph, I hereby put you in charge of the whole land of Egypt. Then Pharaoh took his signet ring from his finger and put it on Joseph's finger. He dressed him in robes of fine linen and put a gold chain around his neck. He had him ride in a chariot as second in command, and people shouted before him, make way. Thus he put him in charge of the whole land of Egypt. So Joseph never lost faith or hope in what God had in store for him. Joseph was literally put on a road behind an animal because his brothers were jealous of him. He was put into slavery, accused of a crime he did not commit, and then put in jail for it. But through all of that, through all of his hills, cornstalks, and curves in his road, preventing him from seeing the end, he pushed through with faith, knowing that God had it all under control. When I was walking my driveway, there were many things that prevented me from continuing, obstacles and thoughts. If I would have kept going, I would have found exactly what I was searching for. Every single person in this room has a road. Every single person has a hill, a cornstalk, or a curve that might prevent you from finding what you're searching for, finishing your journey, or maybe even starting your next one. God has a plan. It's at the end of your road. The sooner you really believe he has a plan and start walking with faith, you'll be able to overcome all of the obstacles that come in your way. So far, I've talked about obstacles in our roads and discovered that despite these obstacles, according to Scripture, we need to keep going and have faith that God has a plan. Now let's take this a bit further. As you and God begin to start your journey, the one that you are going to keep going on despite the obstacles, God might start making your path intersect with somebody else's. As Christians, God is going to put people into our lives to help us on our journey, and people he wants us to help on theirs. These people are going to be extremely important in your walk with the Lord. Now, for a while here, I'm going to kind of change directions a bit, and I would like to ask you a couple questions. Please answer out loud if you feel comfortable. Okay. How is everyone doing tonight? That's good. That's good. Now for a really, really deep question, and I want you to think about this honestly. How is everyone really doing? Now I know this seems silly because this is something most people do at the beginning of a message, but bear with me. Do you know how many times I got asked this question today? 0 times. One, because I told my mom not to, because otherwise this would be a lie. So, that doesn't count. But, more importantly, a question that has been revealed to me is how many times have I asked someone this question today? How many times have I looked someone in the face and really asked them how they were doing, but not just asking them in the typical way to greet someone, but because I really care? How many times have I reached out to my non-Christian friends and asked them how they were doing? How many times in your life have you ever pushed someone away, knowing or not knowing, that wasn't following Christ, or told them you didn't have time to talk to them right now because you were too busy to share with them the gospel? I think sometimes on our roads and on our journeys through life, we get our priorities a little mixed up. Many of us think, oh, I have to get through school. I have to go to college, get a job, and then move out. I just have to get to the end of my own road. Many of us think we have everything all figured out. We think that we know exactly how to handle every single obstacle that comes our way, and that is what we focus on. A lot of us, while figuring out life, forget to realize and think about how many people are standing around us, walking aimlessly without the Lord, and all we can think about is getting through our own obstacles and getting ourselves to the end of our own road. Our mission on this earth is to spread the gospel and to teach everyone about Jesus, to help others get through their obstacles, not just to make sure we ourselves get into heaven. Sometimes I think we get so caught up in our own lives that we forget to share God's love with other people, because we just don't always think about the fact that not everyone in this world has God. When God intersects our road with someone else's, he wants us to help that person. Yes, teaching people about the Lord is very important, but there is something you have to do first. You have to start a conversation with this person. You have to build a relationship. A relationship isn't always going to be easy, and it isn't always going to happen on its own. But it definitely won't happen if we ignore those that God has put on our road. Whether these individuals are those you pass by on the street every morning on your run. By the way, shout out to anyone who actually does that. Maybe they sit at the same table every morning or evening at your job as a waitress. Maybe it's someone in your family or a coworker. Every little step you take to go out of your way to build that relationship as a Christian will bring them closer to God and hopefully help them continue their walk on their road through their own obstacles. According to an article I recently read, I don't remember the name, but it stated that 1 in every 5 people do not have any close friends. How is this okay? There are people in this world that don't have a single person to talk to or to share their feelings with. Many of these people are so broken and helpless that they take their own lives. So what if the next time you see someone who is lonely, you ask them how they are? Start a relationship? Will it be easy all the time? No. But what if you can not only be a friend to this person, but you change this person's life by showing them who Jesus is? Now, is it wrong to just go out into a crowd and start talking about Jesus? No. Jesus did this all the time. But in today's world, creating and maintaining healthy relationships is something we struggle with. So as we build relationship with those who are lost, we are not only teaching them about Christ, but we are teaching them that healthy relationships are important and possible to have. You just have to take that extra step and ask someone the simple question of how are you? But you have to make sure that you are asking this question because you care about their response. If you take this step to breathe God's love into a stranger's life, they will remember this moment for the rest of their lives. Maybe it will change their lives instantly, and maybe it will change their lives further down their road. You may never know, but this is okay because God knows. We do what He calls us to do, and He does the rest. So first, no matter what obstacles are put in your road, your journey, always remember that God has it under control. Keep going and have faith that He has a plan, and His plan is good. Secondly, don't become so focused on your own obstacles that you ignore those who God intersects your road with. Take notice of these people and step out by starting a relationship with them and sharing with them about Jesus. Thank you.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Well, that's what we're going to have for the live session tonight. So we're going to say goodbye to our online viewers, and we invite those of you who are here to come up front and let's meet the Lord.